Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're making 4 super easy crock pot meals. These meals are about as easy as you can get. I tried to keep them easy enough that you could just throw them in the crock pot and go. These will feed a family of 6 with some leftovers. Super easy, but very filling and hearty and delicious. So join me. So the first thing we're going to make is old-fashioned crock pot stew. Here are the ingredients that you will need for this recipe. You will also need some stew meat. So the first thing we're going to add to our crock pot is 1 can of cream of mushroom soup. Then we're going to add 1 can of cream of celery soup. Next, I'm going to add 1 cup of tomato sauce, or about half of a can. And then we're going to add 1 packet of onion soup mix. Add a little bit of salt and pepper to taste. Now just mix this together really well. Next, we're going to add our chopped potatoes. Make sure that you cut your potatoes and carrots a little bit bigger because this is going to be in the crock pot for about 8 hours, so you don't want them to be mushy. Go ahead and add your carrots, and then we're going to add our stew meat. Now just give this a quick stir so that everything has a little bit of sauce on it, and then we're going to cover this up, turn it on low for about 8 hours. After you've mixed everything together, go ahead and add 2 basil leaves and just set them right on top and put your lid on. When this is finished cooking, you'll take those leaves out. Doesn't this look so delicious and hearty and filling? So I made some French bread to go on the side. You don't have to do that, but it makes it a complete meal. I will have my French bread recipe in a video coming up for you to watch. So yeah, this makes a perfect filling, yummy dinner. Next, we're going to make our mock chicken pot pie. Here's all the ingredients that you will need for this recipe, and also chicken breast. Okay, first we're going to start out with some chopped potatoes. Next, add the chopped carrots. Next, you're going to add minced onion. My kids don't like big chunks of onion, so this is what I like to use. Then we're going to add 1 packet of chicken gravy. Next, you're going to add 3 cans of cream of chicken soup. Now just stir this together really well. Next, add some salt and pepper to taste. Go a little bit easy on the salt because you already have salt in the cream of chicken soup. So just lightly, just use maybe a dash of salt. We're not going to add the frozen peas until the very last couple minutes of cooking. That way they don't get wrinkly, they stay nice and plump. So next we're going to add a little bit of cooking spray just so that nothing sticks. Then we're going to add half of our potato carrot creamy mixture. Next, you're going to add your chicken breast. I have already trimmed and cleaned these chicken breasts. So go ahead and add them right on top of the mixture, and then you're going to add the other half of your potato carrot mixture over the top. Now you're going to put it in the crock pot on low for 4 to 6 hours. Okay, now that it's finished cooking, we're just going to kind of lightly shred our chicken. You don't want to shred it in tiny pieces. You still want a few bigger chunks. So yeah, just take 2 forks and shred your chicken. Now we're going to add our frozen peas. I add about a cup. You don't even have to add the peas if you don't want to, but I think it makes it really yummy. So add about a cup of peas, stir it in really well, and then it's ready to serve. When you add your frozen peas to this mixture, the mixture is so hot that it will instantly cook the peas, so there's no need to cook any longer. If I have time, I will serve this with homemade biscuits, but I didn't have time today, so I just made these Grands biscuits, and they are really yummy as well. So what I do is I cook the biscuits, and then I go ahead and scoop this mixture into a bowl, and I top it with one of the biscuits, and it is so hearty and delicious and so easy. Next, we're going to make beef stroganoff. So here are the ingredients that you will need for the beef stroganoff. First, you're going to add 1 can of cream of mushroom soup. Next, you're going to add 1 packet of onion soup mix. Now go ahead and stir this together really well so all the powder from the soup mixture is thoroughly combined. Next, we're going to add sliced fresh mushrooms. Now you can leave this out if you don't like mushrooms, or if your kids don't like mushrooms, you can totally leave this out. Next, we're going to add some ground beef. This is how I like to store my ground beef. I buy it in bulk, and then I put it in about 1 pound measurements in a Ziploc bag. I flatten it, and then I freeze it just like this. And that way you can stack them like books. It doesn't take much space, and they're easy to thaw. So what I'll do is I'll take this ground beef, just pull it out in little chunks, and just throw it in raw. Super easy and fast. Once you get all your meat added, don't stir this up. Just go ahead and cover it up with the lid, and then set your crock pot for 5 hours. I'm not going to add the sour cream or the cream cheese until the last few minutes of cooking, so go ahead and set those aside. These are the noodles that I love to serve this beef stroganoff over. You can serve it over mashed potatoes, you can serve it over rice, whatever you like, but these are the noodles that I like. When everything is finished cooking, go ahead and take your softened cream cheese and add it to this mixture. You want to stir the cream cheese in and make sure it's all the way melted before you add your sour cream. Next, you're going to add 1 cup of sour cream. Mix this together really well, and make sure that it's nice and melted into this beef stroganoff mixture. So I like to kind of smash the meat up a little bit so it's a little bit more smaller pieces, but if you like the bigger pieces, go ahead and leave it. Now what I'm going to do is serve it over the noodles, and then I like to have a side of a vegetable. So today we're going to have peas. And the last thing we're going to make is barbecue chicken. So here are the ingredients that you will need for this recipe. First, we're going to start out with 2 cups of ketchup. Next, you're going to add 1 1/4 cup of white sugar. This seems like a huge amount of sugar, but by the time you put it over 6 chicken breasts and have sauce, it's not that much. Next, you're going to add 2 tablespoons of minced onion. Next, you're going to add a dash of Worcestershire sauce. Next, add 1 tablespoon of white vinegar. Now stir this together really well. Spray your crock pot with nonstick cooking spray. You don't have to do that if you have some of those crock pot liners, but if you don't, go ahead and spray it. Then we're going to add our trimmed chicken breasts, 5 to 6 breasts for this recipe. Now go ahead and cover the chicken with your sauce. You're going to cook this on low for 4 to 6 hours. This is the kind of rice that I like to use for this recipe. You're not going to cook this until right before you serve this meal. Once your chicken is completely cooked, you're going to make sure that it's fork tender. If it easily pulls apart with a fork, then it's ready. Now, I have such a cool way to shred this chicken. What I do is I take a hand mixer and I go ahead and mix it right in the crock pot. This is the perfect way to shred your chicken, and it will give you perfect shredded pieces of chicken. You won't have any big chunks. You will just have the same shreds of chicken that will be evenly shredded all the way through. So try this the next time that you need to shred chicken. It's so much easier. Once your chicken is completely shredded, go ahead and give this a good stir and then cover up your crock pot again for about 10 minutes just so that this can sit and get flavorful. When you're ready to serve this, this is very versatile. You can serve this over a salad. You can serve this in tacos. You can serve this on hamburger buns. Today, I'm going to serve it over rice, which is really yummy as well, and then just have a nice green veggie on the side. Thank you so much for being here. If you haven't subscribed, please do so and give me a thumbs up if you like what you see. I post lots of videos just like this with free recipes, and I also do cooking, baking, cleaning, organizing, things like that. So I really do appreciate each and every one of you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.